Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Madcapper and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends and another in our series of I Built Them, so you don't have to. Before we get to that though, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all so much for an amazing 2020. In spite of all the challenges in all of our lives surrounding 2020, with everything that's gone on in the past year, this channel has actually seen a little bit of success. In 2019, I put out my first video, and it was the Unkillable with Cernic, Roshkard, and Lightsworn. And that video is still one of the most watched videos on my channel, but it did spark a bug that I got, which wanted me to start creating content for you all. And though it was at times painstaking, overall, it's been a great ride, including the opportunity to hit 1,000 subs. And now, as of December 29th, we've hit 2,000 subs. So thank you again for getting me this far. We're only looking to go further. Our next goal, 5,000 subs. Is it realistic to do it in the next year? I think so. I think we can do that in a year if we can hit 2,000 in the first year. It's only going to snowball and only get better. So I look forward to a great 2021 with you. With that said, it is time to move on to the Magic Affinity Barbarian Epic Support Champion, Sakara. So let's take a look at her toolkit right now. Sikara is a different champion. She is a support champion, but we're going to give her two kind of different tests because I always like to know what's going on. So her HP, very nice at 19,485, 804 attack, very low. Defense, 1,200, pretty good starting survivability for support-based champion. Speed, 101, anything over 100, baby. On an epic is beautiful. Crit rate, crit damage. Crit damage is the standard non-nuking damage. Resistive 30, accuracy. Starting accuracy of 15. Doesn't happen with every champion, so it's pretty nice. Has the passive. We'll talk about it in another video. Enfeebling tips. Attacks all enemies has a 60% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns, and that is actually up to a 80% when booked, and a 4-turn cooldown when booked. Her A2 attacks all enemies 3 times. Each hit has a 40% chance of removing a random debuff from the target, random buff from the target, and that is up to a 60% chance and a 4-turn cooldown. And the follow-up volley attacks one enemy, fills this champion's turn meter by 25% if this attack is critical. So while she is a support champion, based on her kit, we've got 2 ways to go here. All of them involve her having 100% crit rate, which isn't too big of a deal, but we can either build her very, very tanky as a support follow-up to your nuker, or we can build her to try to nuke. Now, it's always curious. Support is just a tag, and it's not always... All support are not created equal. So what we want to do is we want to find out whether or not that is real. So the first test I'm doing is we're actually going to build her out in Alika's gear. They're sisters, right? Sisters borrow everything. Well, she's borrowed her gear that I use. We saw it, for those of you who missed it, check it out. We have an Alika video. She hits pretty dang hard, and overall, great kit, great moves, just a little bit book hungry. We see here, I've put her in similar gear. I actually got a really nice banner that I just rolled. A triple speed and attack on an accuracy banner, always a great thing, and a double accuracy crit damage. We stole her ring because you should see this. You should see triple roll HP, double roll defense. These are my attack rings, everybody. Like, honestly, I don't know what I did to piss off. I have 3 attack rings, 6-star. And the third one, triple defense. Triple defense, double defense, triple HP. So my one good attack ring, which was on Alika, we moved over to Sakara, and even double attack, but also grabbed an HP just for giggles. And then we, perception gear. We had a little bit of a broken set here, but we got some good speed on her. Overall, because she has such a low starting attack, we wanted to boost her attack as much as possible, and I did put her in several articles of attack, but because the starting percentage is 804, so we really couldn't get a whole lot out, but we want to see what the damage is anyway before we change her over to a nice tanky support role. And that's 39k HP, 2862 attack, defense 2242, 220 speed, crit rate of 100%, crit damage 211, 369 accuracy. And like I said, this is the exact same gear we had in Alika. As far as her masteries, we went down offense tree on this one. We'll probably reset it if the damage isn't what we want to see. But we just we gave her a chance to increase speed, random skill cooldowns. She has some pretty high cooldowns that I'm not really 5 and 4 turn, not really a fan of that. So we want to try to cycle those through quicker. We gave her all the opportunity for damage, and this is just kind of the standard support. Give me more accuracy, extend that weaken that she has, and increase the chance to land because it's only 80% when booked. And I did fully book her out her A2 and A3. She's also a little bit book hungry. Not as bad as her sister. She obviously had more of a social life. Her sister ran into the books, right? So our first test, we're going to bring in Drang, Ethos, and Dracomorph, and then a debuff to start, just to get an understanding of a comparison of damages. So the first round, let's do a little debuff, and we always want to look at this Bombardier here. Bombardier. You know what it is? Bombardier is a plane manufacturer in Canada, and that's my problem. So she's gonna hit all enemies with a 6% chance of placing a weaken. We're not worried about the weaken right here, but we do want to see the damage. And she's doing in the 30s on each one. So that's 5 champions and 30. Now we're going to check out Durang's damage. Now he's doing a 3 times at random. Keep in mind that he's a much stronger attack champion. So let's hit that. 28, 26. Honestly, her multiplier is obviously quite better than his. She's only putting a wake, and he's putting an attack down and a defense down. 3 random times. You see the 3 that he hit, but he's hitting for a lot less. That's actually kind of shocking. They both have a kind of support mechanism to it, but even though she's hitting all, which is one thing, she's also hitting each one a lot stronger despite much weaker gear. So let's we'll take Draco's A1 68,000. We'll see in comparison. So she was hitting in the 30s. He's going to hit much harder, obviously. He's hitting 80,000. So you can tell she could probably hit close to those levels if she had attack, but she has a starting attack in the 800s. So you can't get her up to that level. You can't get her to 5k plus attack. It's just not a thing. So no big deal. Let's now test A2s. We're using Durang as reference. And Ethos, and then we're gonna put him through there. Draco's just kind of giving you A1 reference, so let's go. Let's see it. Again, we'll debuff him. Oof. Okay, ignore Tay-Tay's at damage. So we're gonna do A2. Attacks all enemies 3 times, and it has a chance for removing buffs, which they don't have. So just keep that mechanic. Not very strong hit, 30k each maybe total. But when you consider total, now we've got attacks 1 enemy 2 times from Durang. I mean, he's hitting 80k. He's hitting way more single target, but she's hitting more total damage. Okay, A1s. So her A1 is attacks 1 enemy, fills champion's turn meter. And not bad, 34,000. She also got a War Master proc there. And Armor Piercer ignores 25% defense. Boom. 45. We've already seen that in the 60s. And then his A1 is 83. So that was a comparison of what damage it can do in damage gear. Actually, a lot more than I thought. I think it further solidifies how I feel about Durang, but it also shows that if you don't have strong champion, or you're in the early game, pull her early, you can put her in your best attack gear, and she's going to probably help you get through runs with her damage. But she is a support-based champion. We do want to use her in more of a synergy with other champions to create a team, and so we're going to take her to the Ice Golem with a non-legendary team. So let's get right into the Ice Golem, and we'll show you what we put together for you. So this is the team we're going to bring into the Ice Golem to feature synergy. And that's what Sakara is. That's what a lot of supports are. Unless you happen to have like a Venus level kit where you kind of have everything yourself, you need to be able to pair them with someone that can complement them very well. And the duo of Sakara and Stagnite are actually very strong because Stagnite puts down the attack down, defense down, and then Sakara can put it down the weaken. They both do reasonable damage for supports, and then you've got the couple nukers, and then you've got some kind of champion to keep them alive. In this case, we're going to use Rector. She's one of the new champions, and I love her. I'm using her in the arena right now. We're testing her out in a couple of comps with arena to see how that works, but regardless, you can see how pretty good synergies. She will heal every single time someone takes a turn. She also has a revive. She also has a veil. The only downfall I feel with her kit is that her veil veils everyone, and I don't like that. I think she should stay available, right? There needs to be a target, or else what's the point? And I really wish that was there. You see, Sikara was able to erase the reflect damage with her ability, that removing one debuff chance. So that's always nice for this. Now, hopefully we'll get them. There's the weaken, which is good. Got a full land. There's the attack down, defense down, and we're off to the races. And as an added bonus, of course, we have Phoenix, who can block revive. And we have, and there he is. There's the first one down. And he actually has a block buffs. He also has a slow. So that slow actually comes in quite handy. And so we're one down. We've got all the debuffs we want, which is really important to get that attack down on the boss. He can really be a hammer, especially with Royal Guard, because Royal Guard's going to absolutely murder him as soon as he gets his turnaround. So what we really hope for, perfect block revive there. And now it's all over but the crying, I think, for the boss as soon as Royal Guard gets around to his AoE again. I figure that'll probably be all she wrote. And as long as she doesn't trigger the ass, that's not even a big deal. With that attack down and no ads coming back, and boom, a minute 44, pretty reasonable run, pretty reasonable team. No crazy expectations. My Rector, by the way, I built out for no accuracy and high resist. So I'm using her as a high resist champ in the arena. I'm not finished with her. I need better gear, but she's also got AoE mitigation, so I'm putting her in Stalwart. So when you put the fact that Veil allows you to reduce AoE damage, as does Stalwart, plus she's a high HP champion, or have her high HP, plus she's got the heals every time someone goes. Very good synergy here. And the Sakara was doing great damage, was able to remove buffs from the enemy on that second round to keep our champions alive. We saw revive. We saw Stagnite put down his defense down, attack down. Sakara's weakened, and the whole team synergized very well. Perfect example of what we're looking for in team synergies. So I could bring them into other dungeons. I mean, Dragon's Lair will be really good. When Madame Ceres gets her AI changes, you'll probably be able to pair Sakara and Madame Ceres very well. Well, I gotta say, having Stagnite, Sakara, and Phoenix together seems to be a match made in heaven. Feels like a future video. Maybe. In the meantime, let's bring them into the arena, those three with the speed lead. We'll see what they can do in the arena, if they can hang. I'm probably mid gold 4 right now, but I believe I run into a rather reasonably strong page. So we'll see what kind of synergies and what they're able to do against that sort of kind of the middle of the pack gold 4. We're farming there. Let's see. Interesting team there. So this is the team I've been playing around with. A little spoiler, but okay, let's bring in, well, we want to go first, right? Why don't we do the same thing here? Let's do this. Let's bring in Lysandra, because I mean, obviously I'll be faster, unless they got some kind of tricked up here. Only thing I don't like is we won't have a buff strip if we do this, but I have the champions built out, so let's go. I mean, you could say Gorgrab if it was an epic team, and we were in gold 1 or silver or whatever, but this is where I think she's actually going to be an okay champion to use. I think she's going to have some usability, a 3-void champion, so fairly certain we're going to do okay with that, and then we'll bring in Phoenix. Why not? Let's do it. That's the exact team we're just using, minus Raptor. Okay, and then let's debuff, and then let's... Oops, Alika. Start again. This time, let's bring Sakara. Alright. Okay, so we're going to turn meter. We're going to debuff. We're going to debuff. We even got a stun, so that's good. Now we want to bring in this, which is really nice. We locked a couple skills down. We locked skills on the ones arguably most important. So we've got a stun. We've got these two locked out. So we're gonna make sure she doesn't get to go. Oh, that was an unfortunate happenstance, but actually, I don't even need that. I think we just he's still stunned. Let's just do that. Perfect. And I mean, not a sexy 6-second win, but pretty good. I don't want to deal with that. Obviously, hegemons. Jesus, hegemon ever. Am I in platinum all of a sudden? Okay, here. And that's what happens on the clapback. All right. Let's see if we can get rid of that. We can use that to get rid of all the buffs. Nailed all 3 of them. Stunned. Oh, that was a beautiful stun. Beautiful stun. All right. Let's just do that. She's blocked, so you can't screw me. Oh, I probably should have used the boost. Oh well. Boom. Oh man, that's quite the healthy hit. I think we're okay though. Yeah, there we go. So another win. Interesting on the Draco. These are actually not easy teams. I just worry about the speeds. And my Lysandra's faster than my Arbiter. My Arbiter's meant for something different. So again, put down the weakens. Miss most of them because my team's apparently idiotic. Boom. And then we put down that. That's gonna proc that. Can we do? Yeah, we can. So now here, great opportunity. We have the A2 and didn't land. 0 for 3 on stripping that buff. I thought the block buff would stop that, but I guess it's the order of events, right? So, okay, now you got to strip it. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, I mean, those weren't easy teams for this. For this comp, I'm trying to, like, hegemons are obviously without immunity gear. It's not worth going up against them. I worry about. Well, let's give it a try. This is a problem. I don't like the matchup here. Let's just put it that way. But let's see if we can. Because this won't proc anything. There's no way that's going to hit enough. It did hit enough, but it's a weak hit, so we're good. Maybe we'll get a stun on him. Ugh, God. Okay, this attacks all enemies for 2 turns. This attacks 1 enemy. So what we actually want to do is hope we don't get a weak hit. We got 1 weak hit, but we still got enough damage. So that's good. We're going to let her not go. Ouch, that really hurts. We don't actually need... Ouch, that sucked. And it wasn't even on her turn. That's the worst part about that. Okay, she went, but she had the attack down, no problem. Yeah, it's not, I mean, this is not obviously an endgame team. It's not an endgame champion. But, I don't know, I think we did pretty well in the arena. Okay, final thoughts on Sakara. I really like her. I gotta be honest with you. I like her synergy. She's not flashy like Alika is, with the big damage and the big modifiers. But what she does is she synergizes extremely well with other champions. There are only a handful of champions that defense down and weaken, and even fewer still who do that on an AoE. There are, however, a couple of really good epics that do defense down and attack down. And if you happen to have one of those champions, especially if you've been around since a battle pass, you likely have Stagnite, who is one of the top epics in the game, and she absolutely pairs with them great. Her, having a weaken, having a buff strip, and having a turn meter boost on her A1. I love the kit. I love it. My problem with it, and this is what I would change from her, this is a very simple one. Love her. I tell you, you should build her. If you're a progression champion, you need that extra support champion who can also do a little bit of damage and synergy. You saw how I used her. If you're looking for that type of champion, definitely build her out. But how I would change her to make her even more palatable is just remove some of the books. We took here, it's a 6 turn. That means out the gate, this is fairly useless, or at least reasonably useless. It shouldn't be that large. So let's change that to a 5 turn cooldown. Get rid of one of the cooldown books. So it's a 5 turn bookable to 4 turn. Get rid of one of the damages. So that gets rid of 2 books here. Brings it down from an 8 book to a 6 book and a 5 turn to a 4 turn. Love it. On the A2, again, too many books. 6 books right now. Just get rid of one of the damages. Get rid of the 10%. Who cares? 5%, whichever one you want. So now we've got a 6 book down to a 5 book, 5 turn cooldown to a 4 turn cooldown. I think that makes the debuff chances more accessible, and it makes both of them, right? You get rid of one of these damages. It makes it more accessible to get to those debuff chances, and makes an 18 now a 15 book. And then if you get lucky, it's actually 11 books if you don't put into here, and that's a reasonable number. Still a little high on the high end, but overall, I think it's a great champion. I think she pairs well. I think you can use her incredibly. And I can't wait till I do a future video using Sakara and Alika together. I think Sakara, Alika, and Phoenix as a trio, the 3 Musketeers, is absolutely going to be a top tier grouping for those of you looking for 3 epics that can really dish out in many areas if you're a free-to-play player. So that's all I have for you today. It's a short and sweet ending to a probably a longer video because I took her to several different places. But overall, really love this champion. I think she's slept on a lot. I think she needs to have synergy. She's not on her own. She's okay, but with the right champion, she is very, very strong. So please consider booking her if you have the champions and you think you can make her work. Also, it is probably New Year's Eve as you are watching this. Therefore, I want to thank you all for a wonderful 2020. In spite of everything, my personal life in 2020 has been crazy. I am now going to a new job in January. I hit 2,000 subs just the other day. Yesterday, actually, but depending on when you saw this, on the 29th. We hit 1,000 subs at the beginning of the year, so I consider this. Our goal was 2,000. We hit it. Thank you very much. We're going to hopefully be in level 2 of the content creator program, so I can start giving away gems. I'm really excited about that. So I want to thank you all for supporting me, and please hope that you continue to support me in 2021, and I will continue to support you in 2021. This champion chase, even though I don't want Sir Nick because I already have 2, I'm not going for him. I still wanted 2nd place for the book, so I've been closely trying to play around there, and I'm well seated into 2nd place, and it's really allowed me to bring up a lot more epics. So we're gonna have a lot of these videos coming up in the next few weeks. I think I have 5 or 6 champions ready to go who are epic, so I'm really excited to bring those to you as well. But most of all, it's New Year's Eve. Have fun, stay safe. Do not start 2021 with COVID or any other issue. Do not drink and drive. Just be smart all around. Use Uber, use masks, stay safe, be kind, and we'll see you in the new year for the new video.